everybody, I'm back and I'm here to show you part 2 of making cookies. So yesterday we made the dough and put it in the refrigerator. So today we are taking it out and I'm going to show you how to make really awesome cookies. So yesterday I had you wrap it in wax paper, parchment paper, whatever you had, and flatten it out. And so now we took it out and yeah, I've already started making cookies so I can show you. But it should be hard, but not like so solid where you can't move it. And this is why I had you flatten it out. It's very easy to just break off a piece, where if it was a big circle, you'd have a lot of trouble. I'm only telling you from experience. I've been there, done that. So I'm trying to make it easier for you. So I have my little pile of flour. Now this is going to be the incredibly messy part, or also the incredibly fun part for me, and probably your kids too. So I've taken a chunk of my dough and I started molding it, I guess is the best word. Because it's hard, it's sticking together. And it's still very slightly sticky. I can still feel a slight bit of tack onto it, which is fine for now. Now, what I need to be able to do is I need to just roll it out with my hands and kind of make it so it will mold, move, make it malleable. But I do not want to do it in the flour right now, because the more flour you put on, the harder it is to make it do what you want it to do, because it becomes less sticky. So once I feel I have my shape, or it's malleable enough, I will kind of flatten it out with my hands. Now this is because when you're using a rolling pin, it's easier to roll a flat surface than it is a ball. And then we would pick it up and put it directly on the flour, and that's when we'd start rolling it out. After you've made some cookies, you'll find that you have this, sorry, cat hair. That's what happens when you have two long-haired cats. You'll find that you have this dough that kind of has a lot of flour all over it. It's warm and it's falling apart because I had already made cookies out of it. But the way I deal with this is I just kind of clump it in a ball, and I take my cold dough that doesn't have a lot of flour on it, and I just plop it right in the middle, and I start folding it right in. This kind of helps it so that you can get more mileage out of it. The other thing that I will sometimes do, especially when I get towards the end and I'm running out of cold solid dough that hasn't been molded yet, is I will just put it in a baggie and throw it back in the fridge. That's the thing with this dough, is when it's cold, it's more likely to stay together. As it warms up, it will not stay together as well. So now that I have a big ball, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to flatten it out with my hand. With the heel of my hand. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to pick it up, and I don't think I have enough flour, so I'm going to just drop more flour, and I'm going to put it directly on the flour. Now I want to take a little bit of flour and put it on top of the dough and just kind of spread it around. I do this because I'm using a rolling pin, and you don't want the dough sticking to the rolling pin. Now with the rolling pin, I'm not going to use huge motions, because that'll actually pick up the ends of the dough and break it. So I'm just going to do little bits and move it all around. And you saw that when I came back, it started to pick up. And that's why we have to be careful with that, because otherwise it will break the dough, and it makes it hard to put it back together. But you just want to keep pushing it out till it's as thick as you want it. You don't want it too thin, or it'll break apart as soon as you touch it. So that looks good. Just fix that. There we go. And then you take your cookie cutters. I have different sizes. These I used yesterday, and you will get as many cookies as depending on the size of your cookie cutter. I did a batch yesterday with the same amount of dough that I have, and with these two I got about 6.5 dozen cookies out of them. Today I am using smaller cookies cutters, and I will probably get double that amount out of these. And Then I have some extra little ones just for fun, just in case. So what I tend to do, once I have my dough rolled out, so I have my bowl of flour, and I'm gonna just dip it in and kind of make sure that the inside is covered. This way your dough will not stick to your cookie cutter, and you will be able to take it out. Now I just push it right in. I'm gonna drop it into my hand and put it on my cookie sheet. And that's pretty much it. If for any reason you push it down and it stays there, just leave it there for now. Don't need to move it. Once you start picking it all up later, you'll be able to pull it right back out. Not a big deal. The best thing to use is non-stick baking sheets like these. You don't need to put any cooking spray, anything on it, because they're non-stick and because you have a ton of flour on the other side. So it's not going to burn or anything like that. Once you get it filled up, put it in the oven. My recipe says that the cookies should be cooked for 6 to 8 minutes on 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I will generally start my year off at 6 minutes and then add a minute as I look at it. Since I'm comfortable with my oven, I know that once I put the cookies in the oven, it will take a full 8 minutes to cook. And depending on your oven, it might cook faster, it might need a little more than 8 minutes, and that is okay. But you can always add time, but you can't subtract it. So I just pulled these, hang on one second. Oh, it's not as hot as I thought it was gonna be. I just pulled these out of the oven, and you can see that they're a bit puffy. And I know it's hard to tell from the video, but they're very slightly tinged brown. Very, very slightly. They just started to tinge brown, and that is perfect. You don't want to keep them in the oven until you see that they're brown, because then they'll get too hard. Let me just set those back over here. So that is pretty much the long and short of making cookies. These are the ones I made yesterday, and as you can see, they're nice and brightly colored, very, very light brown. And I hope that you have a great Christmas and holidays, whatever you celebrate. And I will be back with video number 3 on how to frost these. But you don't have to. They're good just the way they are. Talk to you later.